Star Duck.
Hi. So, can you answer questions?
You guys have submitted some amendments on Bill 60. I had sort of thought you guys were fully against it. Can you talk to me about what you're trying to do with the amendments in order to make the bill something you'd like?
Well, we're really concerned about, for example, the lack of transparency. We are concerned about the lack of accountability in this legislation, so we do want to see some changes, but I mean, I will say I think the government has shown they're very unwilling to make the changes to the bill that we would want to see. The legislation itself is deeply problematic right now.
Why not support? I mean, every time you guys speak, you talk about affordability and people on the margins and rising costs. Why not support the government's call to ask Ottawa to pause carbon tax?
Well, first of all, if this government wants to talk affordability, I mean, I think this is just them trying to change the channel again, like they always do. Their bill did not meet the moment. People in this province are struggling, and if this government got out from behind, from the boardrooms and actually got into communities and listened to what people are talking about right now, they would bring in real measures that would have a real impact on people's lives, like bringing back rent control. I mean, soaring rent is one of the major reasons why people are struggling to be able to put food on the table. And this government refuses to act. Doing away with paid sick days means that people, if they're sick, are going to be, many people who don't have coverage are going to end up out of pocket, losing money and not being able to put groceries, food on the table. So I think there's a lot of affordability measures this government could have addressed that would be more in touch with where people are at, but this government shows again and again how out of touch they are.
Mark, the government just signed a deal with the doctors to extend virtual ERs, but it's only for 3 months. Some hospitals have said they're already just going to shut down because they heard the cuts were going to dry up on March 31st. Some of the hospitals are saying it's an innovative program and it helps get people out of the ER that don't need to be there. What do you, it seems like there's no long-term plan. What do you sort of think?
I think that, it's important that the government is willing to make a change and realize when they make bad policy. I would like them to extend it beyond the 3 months. And I think, I hope that they would do the same thing for the coverage that they're cutting to uninsured people. I would like to see them change tack there as well. And I think this shows the government can change their plans, and I hope that they're listening and will do the right thing.
Should the government scrap the Ontario Place plan? It seems to be lots of opposition.
It's a terrible plan. It's a terrible plan. The government is willing to spend just millions and millions of dollars on an Austrian company to build a private spa and basically take over our public park space. It's a terrible plan, and Ontario Place should be for Ontarians, for everyone, not some kind of luxury spa. I think it's pretty clear that there's massive opposition to this from lots of people, and I really hope the government reverses course.
Where do you stand on the City of Toronto's budget gap? I mean, many municipalities are facing this, but Doug Ford came out pretty hard saying, clean up your own books, you're not driving efficiencies. What do you think of the response that he gave to this request today?
Yeah, I think it's deeply disappointing, because it shows once again how out of touch this premier is with the reality that's facing so many people across our province, not just here in Toronto, but there's municipalities all over this province that are hiking. They're hiking taxes. I want them to call it a Ford tax. They're hiking taxes on people because they cannot figure out a way to make up for what this government has cut from them. This government, the Ford Conservatives, need to come up with funding to make our municipalities whole. And what is this going to mean for cities like Toronto? We see it right now, a decline in service in our everyday lives. And for many Ontarians, it's going to mean paying more out of pocket, because Doug Ford refuses to take responsibility for the inaction of his own government. So I would hope that he would wake up and actually address the concerns of the City of Toronto. And I would hope the same thing from the federal government. I was disappointed by both budgets, frankly.
And what about the TTC? I mean, Premier Ford was asked today about could money to put police on the TTC come from the guns and gangs? Like, do you think that's a smart way of looking at this? Because, you know, the City of Toronto can't afford the multi-million-dollar price tag to have police officers on the TTC.
Yeah, well, we've seen police in the TTC. We've seen those numbers increase, and then I think we can't simply address the problem that way. We need to see a real, and I mean an urgent, right now, emergency investment in addressing the homelessness, addiction, and mental health crisis in this city. And the Premier needs to stop trying to make this somebody else's problem. He's the Premier of Ontario. That includes the City of Toronto and all the people in this province who rely on transit, including kids who ride the transit every day to get to school. And I wish he would listen to what the families of victims are telling him about what the answer is and where the concerns lie. So, you know, could we divert some of those provincial funds? I think the province should be, right now, should be sitting down and saying to the City of Toronto, you know, how can we help? Here's some money for urgent action to address mental health and addiction issues. And here's some, you know, massive infusion to help us get people into supportive housing. It has to happen now. It is a crisis, and you know, there's a lot of other things we can do. I know the city is trying really hard to put outreach officers on the subway. I think those are important moves. There's no way they can do all of this without the province coming to the table.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.